You know, if you look at the world that we have and how competitive, you know, other countries are moving on, and you just compare it to what we have here, you would want to ask a couple of questions as who is in charge, you know, who is responsible, who is to ensure that the basics gets done, you know, and why is everyone doing whatever they feel like they can get away with. That's the type of system that we have, and you can't really tell the direction of which, you know, this country is going right now. And that's what you see. You know, that's what you see. If you're somebody who is progressive, you want to be futuristic and think about the forward march of this country, at least you, when you get here, the greetings, the ambience, the environment itself would tell you what, you know, this country represents.
We have a very nice airport too.
You know,
the terminal now is,
you know,
far better than it was.
Yes, but you see, when you refuse to evolve as a result of situations, you know, it makes it look as if, and so what? You came, you inherited a beautiful infrastructure. You know, COVID came, so you have to change the rules. Okay, now when you change the rules, you'd also have to put in mechanisms that will not stress the system.
Okay.
What we have, what I saw at the airport is, you know, some measures put in place that frustrate passengers and put pressure on the system itself. So you ask yourself, yes, it looks beautiful, but who is in charge in ensuring that common sense, you know, comes up at the end of it? Why would you want to get out of the plane? You sit in the plane for God all these hours, and you can't get out of the plane because all of us have to, as they put it, one logo line, and wait an Airbus, you know, one after the other, one. And you look at your time and say, look at all these people coming in. These are money. The human beings you see, these are all people that are bringing in money. Okay, if you're a business conscious person, would you treat a business like this? You want to make profit of these people, right? These are the people that are bringing in the money. You get them stuck out here. So what type of message, what type of leadership coordination, what's the end result?
And I think the money thing still comes in. I'm guessing you're talking about the testing at the airport.
Yes, the testing at the airport.
They charge you, don't they?
Of course, they charge you. But, you know, when you charge me, deliver. Okay, value for money. You know, let people be happy in spending. Let people not complain too much in giving. Because at the end of the day, they see value for money. They see what you're using the money for. Okay, you don't put all of us in one long queue standing there, you know, and you be taking money from us. The whole place hot, like, you know, it was quite frustrating. People were just insulting each other. You know, it was, people were saying, this will be the last time I'm coming to Ghana. And these are Ghanaians, you know, that are coming back home to do whatever they want to do. And we can't get the basics right, Sena.
So the frustration started from the airport.
Oh, yes. Immediately you get out of the plane, that's what greets you.
I'll be very happy if you can either push the mic closer to yourself or get closer to it.
Okay.
Yes. That's a bit more helpful. So the frustration from the airport, the extortion started from the airport, and it's continued ever since. Yeah,
you know, Sena, that's what it is. That's what it is. You know, it's quite stressful. You know, even buying energy. Power.
ECG credit.
Yes,
so that's how we call it.
It's a whole cycle. You know, it's a whole cycle. But you know, I don't know. I don't know how fast we want to move as a country. How competitive we would want to be. What the vision is. You know, what's the standard is. What the Ghanaian brand is. You know, it's hard to figure out where we're going. You know.
And I guess a question that arises is whether or not you feel things are they improving or are they getting worse by the day? The last time you came as compared to this time around, is it just a constant deterioration or you see some improvements at least?
Let me take off my mask and say this. I'm vaccinated, so if you're comfortable, I'm fine. Our roads clearly tells us that we've not made progress. If you use the road as a benchmark, you realize that we've not made progress.
No progress at all.
No, if you want to use the road, Accra Road, and how, you know, the environment is, you wouldn't call this progress. We are engulfed in filth. Let's face it. you are just engulfed in filth, you know, and you look at things and you want to say that if this should happen, if someone should fall in this pit right now, somebody's going to get sued for big time, you know. But, you know, Ghana here, it's sometimes...
You can sue.
Yes. So the value that we put on ourselves, you know, the premium of life itself makes it difficult, Sena. It's quite difficult.
And then perhaps, I'm guessing then, within that context, you do understand this whole issue of hashtag fix the country. You are getting a sense of what people mean when they say that.
Yes, I mean, fix the country, it's a movement that, you know, is supposed to be forever. You know, it is not supposed to be a 9-day wonder. I think it's something that should come, it should be institutionalized in a way that, you know, no matter which government comes in, it will still have to be, you know, a pressure group that even has to be sponsored by the state.
Okay.
You know, and be given the room, the reason of which we exist, the democracy, you know, the fix the country should be seen as one of the vital tools that is needed to get Ghana where it's supposed to be. Okay. I mean, to get the finance minister on a Sunday afternoon press conference, that should tell you that the movement is strong. Yes, and I'm excited. I'm following it on Twitter a lot, you know, and I'm excited about, you know, the issues that are coming up, and it's coming from the younger generation. You know, that's more, you know, encouraging for us to know that, well, in as much as you would want to write certain generations off, there's hope on the other side. You know, so for me, I am well encouraged that one day we would have people that would say that we don't need to borrow anymore. We believe in ourselves, that we have the capacity to build this country on our own, that we will see Ghana as stationed in a position where they can take advantage of the entire continent and pull every resources from the continent to the advantage based on what we provide.
Okay.
You know, so I have a feeling that we'll get there one day, you know, but the fix the country, it's a must. It's a movement that has to be supported. It shouldn't be colored in with politics. It will defeat the purpose. Let's leave it the way it is. Let's support it from a genuine standpoint.
Okay.
You know, not necessarily going to see the leadership and giving them money. No. Also adding your voice. Okay, exposing the rot and tapping the back of people that are doing the right things. Okay. You know, these are the things that the country needs to heal. You know, so it has come at the right time, and I hope it stays, because we need to fix this country. This country needs to fix.
And you're saying that it needs to take a longer time.
Yes.
Because clearly you see that fixing this country, as per what you've seen alone, it won't take 2 days.
No, it wouldn't. First of all, we would have to, you know, look at our mindset towards leadership. You know, if you want to be in a leadership position, what type of mindset are you taking in there? It's very, very important, because the mindset you take in there also determines the output that comes out.
Okay.
If your mindset, you know, if you have a mediocre standard, okay, if you always make reference to the past, if your vision is nothing to write home about, and accidentally get a platform to be in leadership, we are all, you know, going to be in a mess. We are all going to be in a mess, you know, and that's the more reason why you would ask that 5 years of an administration, the people are clamoring for the basics.
Okay.
So you want to ask yourself that, so for the past 5 years, what have you achieved? What have you done for the people that now they are asking for the basic things that they expected? That, I'm sorry, that, you know, they would be able to.
They would.
So these are the things that I think that we would have to.
You may have to cut it or something.
Okay,
find a way of silencing it for me. So that you're listening to Arnold Appiah, and key point is making. First key point is that this whole movement needs to be allowed to find a life of its own, develop its own self, without necessarily any form of political intervention. Let me say good morning to Elulu Mensa, Kofi Komeja, Abdul Rahman. Anyway, Gilfie Dresdel Moore is saying, can they fix the mess they've created? The country Ghana is helmed by a president who is without a doubt. This your English is bigger than me. His assistant is, hey, what kind of names you're calling our vice president and everything. Well, so we're making a point about where you're talking about the fact that one, it has to be allowed to grow on its own.
Yes.
Involve citizenship, raising genuine problems that they are confronting every day.
Yes.
That even the government has to find a way of not trying to suppress it like we're seeing in this manner, if necessary, even support it.
Yes, we need to have a system that will support such a movement, because as a country we all, call for accountability. And if you want to use the past, just the recent election petition as an example, you realize that the system would not want to allow people to be accountable. It's just quite pathetic, that what we've all invested to trust in at the same time will be the same system that will stab us in the back. So this fix the country thing, I think, provides that avenue where people can genuinely seek accountability from leadership, and bottom all the way to the top. And it's really good. It's really good. And I've seen a counter fix your
fix yourself. Fix your attitude.
Fix your attitude. Okay. And you would want to ask yourself that, what do you need me to fix on my own? What do I need to fix? I pay my taxes. I abide by the rules. What else do I need to do? What else do I need to? If Kolebu doesn't have enough beds, how will my attitude change that? When you call the ambulance and it's not coming, how will my attitude change that? When the roads are terrible, the way it is, pothole, manhole, whatever you want to call it, how will my attitude change that? So if you tell me to fix my attitude, basically you're trying to tell me that I don't know what I called for. But I am paying you for that purpose. Humans in general, Sena, to a very large extent, we are unruly, let me put it that way. And if you want to use an example, ask yourself why we have the traffic light. Why do we have the traffic light? If we could all reason, we wouldn't need a traffic light, right? But because we need some order, that's the reason why we put in rules. So that's who we are. So when we put in mechanisms, it is to check us, to correct us. Because when we are given the opportunity, it will be a whole, world altogether. It will be a jungle. But we entrusted a system, we are paying the system that, look, you have the capacity. We've empowered you enough to look at the issues and address them. So when we empower you and you get the resources and you use it to your own advantage, into the disadvantage of the people, then we have a problem.
I'm still getting indication from, I think you may have to pull the mic closer to you. I think that will help. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that will be.
Okay.
I think that will be better.
Thank you very much.
That will be better. Earlier on, you were talking about the fact that we need to even look at how we approach leadership.
Yes, it's very important.
Our mindset towards.
Yes, our mindset. I mean, Sena, I have attended a couple of interviews, a lot of interviews, I'll tell you. I have never attended any interview with my mom, my chief, my assemblyman, my uncle, my auntie, never. You go alone and your outputs, you are scrutinized thoroughly to ensure that you are fit to get a job done.
Okay.
When you are appointing ministers, when you nominate ministers, and you go with all this barrage of people, what is it for? First of all, look at the problems that we face as a country. And you've been nominated to, come and tell us how you intend to fix these problems. And then you go with a whole team supporting you, it creates an impression as if it's a gold mine already there. You've made it. So go get it and let's be happy. And let's be happy. That's the mindset that we have. But if you look at the problems that we face, the stress that we go through, knowing very well that if someone should die as a result of an accident, you could be fired because of your inability to put in the right mechanisms. The last thing you want to think about is having someone to go and support you for your interview or your vetting, because you are entering into a den of fire. And that's the state that Ghana finds itself in. We need people who would understand that, look, we are lacking behind. No more lives supposed to be lost. We can't go about begging. We need to make sure that the Ghana brand stands out, that when we say that we are from Ghana, we will be respected. So we have a lot of work to do. So we need people who would think that way. When you look at the challenges of this country, you'd realize that you don't need your chief and your mom and your auntie to support you when you're going for your vetting. But that's the mindset that we have.
In fact, the chief, your mom, and your auntie
Yes.
are supposed to be the one demanding a higher standard from you.
Exactly. Your output, the platform given to you to serve is to show the skill, what you're made of. If you claim that you've been to Yale, I have not been to Yale. But you can't go to Yale University, come out, and then go and contract a loan and do a kinky party. That's a big embarrassment and a big disgrace. Yale University, come out, become a minister, acquire a loan, and do kinky party. Clearly, you failed. You're not needed anymore. You've brought in nothing. You've brought in nothing. We can't use you for anything. There's no competitive world out there that will accommodate such a person in any firm, more or less become a minister. And look at this, what we face today. The output of this government, terrible. Very, very terrible. There's nothing that you can put your hand on and say that this thing is promising. Just check sector by sector.
Not one district, one factory, not one village, one
Please,
dam.
Sena, that one district, one factory thing, so we all knew it was a hoax. It's not possible. Not today. You can start it, but don't say what you know is not possible.
Okay.
If you want to say that a factory, what type of factory are you talking about? We need to know the type of factory that you are bringing.
Okay.
Is it like the Mahama Cement factory that you're talking about, or the Vulcanizer type of factory? We need to know. So with regards to the factories, we put up factories, then what it basically means is that it will lead to more warehouses, more corporate people, coming in, bigger transactions, because you're talking of factories. And in today's world, when we say a factory, we mean a factory. Okay, so what makes a successful factory in a community? Because it's business, right? Good roads, very important. Access to electricity, water, emergency security, and all these key factors that makes a successful company. We need to make sure that we have all these things before a company can survive. Ask yourself that if you say one district, one factory, look around diverse districts, the states they find themselves in. What type of factory do you intend to put here?
Okay.
It's very important. And what type of human resource do you think would live wherever they are just to come and live here when the basic necessities are not available? If the schools are not good, for that CEO's kid to have that access to good education, facility for a good health system, that when the CEO himself falls sick, he can gain access, and the staff, security, water, potable water, and all the basics. If it is not available, what type of system do you think will be that progressive? So from the get-go, some of us, we knew that it's a hoax. It's not true. It's not possible at this time. And they were not willing to explain themselves. So, and just look at our economy. Look at our economy. Very, very terrible. You claim you've built factories, and your economy grew 0.1% last year. You must be joking. Who puts up factories to expand an economy and rather takes a nosedive? What type of business, finance application that you are running will lead you to that deplorable state?
And that they attribute to COVID.
Please, let's not go there. Prior to COVID, Bawumia made us believe that we had 5 months reserve or 6 months reserve, but it took us 72 hours to apply for a relief from the World Bank as a result of COVID. And ask yourself that, what was the impact of COVID really? What was the impact prior to COVID? What was the state of our economy? How were we doing in terms of employment?
Okay.
How were we doing in terms of the stabilization of the city? How powerful was the city? How much were we resourcing our state institutions to function properly? How was the business of Ghana like prior to COVID? Let's use this as a standard, because to the best of my knowledge, I recall that before COVID, the blame was placed on free SHS. They said free SHS was the reason why nothing is moving, because they pumped all the money in free SHS. But you look at the budget and ask yourself, how much, in percentage-wise, how much is going into free SHS? I think less than 30%. So you had no excuse. You had no excuse. It was a blatant lie. And then you were looking for another opportunity, excuse, and COVID, showed up, and you just latched on it. Everything blamed COVID. Everything blamed COVID. How has COVID really impacted the economy? How? And weren't we that futuristic? The need for us to sustain ourselves. Haven't we discussed this years and years over? And that's the essence of which we have the how do you call it? The reserves that they claim that we're supposed to have. So what happened? So we can't use COVID. In the United States right now, I think as of yesterday, President Biden was saying that, well, if you are given, a good job, you would have to take it. You shouldn't say you're not going to take it. You know why? Because the government is providing relief, unemployment, stuff to the people. So therefore, people are getting paid. You stay home and you're getting resources to keep you going. So people don't even want to go to work no more. So if you tell me that the whole world has been impacted by COVID, yes, but through that, countries are making progress. No one is making excuses.
Okay.
So we have no excuse either. We have no excuse. And let's look at beyond COVID. What are some of the measures that they've put in place that would let you feel that there's hope? What are the measures? What are the measures? The finance minister's press briefing on Sunday clearly showed that he's out of touch. He's pretending. I mean, he said he had, if it hadn't been COVID that took him outside the country, he wouldn't have known that we needed to invest much in our health infrastructure. So that should tell you the type of people that we have. Are they ignorant? Or they are acting dumb? Because this is a complete insult. It's a complete insult that a man of his stature, the exposure that he's had, a whole team of government, that this is not the first time they've been in government, that they come and they want to tell you that it took COVID for a minister to go outside the country just to realize that, oh, we need to invest in our health system. So over the years, when Mahama was building Kolebu, all that was built from Kwame Nkrumah, all this, what do you think was the purpose for? That it had to take you COVID for you to come and tell us that we need to do this? Sena, who will take you serious? Let's be honest. Who will take you serious with such pronouncement? No one. No one. So this is a failed system.
Failed?
Oh, it's a failed system. It's a failed system. There's nothing that will come out of this particular system that we have. I mean, this administration. There's nothing. What's the state of free SHS now? What is the state of free SHS now? Back to zero. You've wasted our time, wasted the time of these students and parents. Now we are back, suggesting that we should pay to support. So what did you have in mind? What was your game plan as a government? And you see, the president has not been sincere. He started touting these things all the way 2007, 2008, 9, 10, to all the way till you had opportunity 2016. And is this the output? All these years that you started talking about free SHS, is this the output? Waste of everybody's time, Sena.
Well, if you're just joining us, I'm in the studio with Arnold Appiah, who is President NDC Pro from North America. He decided to finally come and see how we are doing in this country. And you can hear from his voice that, yes, this is just small. You haven't seen anything. I'm guessing you haven't seen anything yet. So this is the. But I don't know. But listening to you, where you are based, when you listen to the news from Ghana, and some of the things that are happening in Ghana, you interact with family and friends and everything. How do you feel about the country?
You know, Sena, I'll tell you. First off, let me greet Ghanaians in the diaspora. They are doing very well. Ghanaians in the diaspora, they are doing very, very well.
That's true.
They are lifting the flag of Ghana very, very high in any organization they find themselves in. They are doing very, very well. And for that matter, I think that they would have to be, appreciated for what they do. Sometimes people will ask you, you guys, you have all this knowledge, you have all this experience. Why are you here? Why are you not helping your country, Ghana? That's a question that we get a lot, because people appreciate what you put out, and they are, they get mesmerized, for want of a better word. Like, they can't even do this. You're able to get this thing done. Oh, a Ghanaian is leading here. A Ghanaian is the head of this. Ghanaians everywhere, lifting the flag of Ghana. But point is, they ask, why is it that we can't do the same thing in our country? And lately they'll ask you, why are you allowing the Chinese to take over your country?
That's a question that is asked.
Yes. It's really sad. And it's the African Americans that will ask you that questions a lot. Because now you have more African Americans trying to come, trace their roots and on and on and on. So they are doing a lot of research.
Okay.
They do a lot of research, and that question comes up a lot. Why are you allowing, or why have you guys allowed Chinese to take over your country? They are destroying your water, but over and over again.
And I'm getting, what question do you ask? How do you answer them?
Well, I just tell them that it's a free world. That's all you say. It's a free world, because point is, you have, in as much as you wouldn't want to wash your dirty linen outside, you would want to also keep your composure in that process. But it's heartbreaking that you watch, you read, and you're being questioned as to why the country is not making that progress, especially a country like Ghana that has rich history. That has rich history. So that's the problem that we have. But Ghanaians in the diaspora are doing very, very well. They are doing very, very well. Put them to any challenge and they will beat it.
I guess I've spoken to a few due to your program. Some of the high-performing Ghanaians that I've had the opportunity of interacting with.
Yes.
But then those skill sets, especially you started, you and a few people started the NDC Pro from North America, and you got a few people involved. And I'm guessing you're meeting more Ghanaians through that platform. You look at the skill sets you meet, the kind of people you meet, the caliber, and then when you listen to news about your country, what is happening here, when you compare the two, what do you think is happening?
You see, Sena, I wouldn't want to, you see, the brain power out there, and here, let me use the NDC Professionals Forum as an example. It's mind-boggling. A lot of brain power. When I say a lot, I mean a lot of brain power. People that are well experienced, people that have seen it all, done it all at the highest level. These are all NDC members, and they just want to help. They just, you see, that's the point. They just want to help. But sometimes I think that, I wouldn't call it inferiority complex, but I think people get intimidated by the presence of others.
Okay.
Yes, people just get intimidated by the presence of others. So, they take certain positions that seeks to block people from supporting or helping the system to be better.
Okay.
Because, yes, we follow all the current trends in Ghana. We discuss it all the time. And sometimes, your blood pressure might go up for no reason. You will, and you get comments from other side of the team, like people here in Ghana, they'll try to tell you that they don't know what they're talking about. We don't know what you're talking about. They don't know the system. They don't know the system. No one is ignorant of the system. But we need to make progress. That's the point. We need to make progress. We cannot stay at one place, marking time, constantly be complaining and complaining. The complaint has to stop at some point, and we need to act. We need to act. So, someone like me, I'm not interested in complaints. There's nothing that you would say that I'm interested in, because I'm expecting the worst in every situation. But once you've been placed or you've put yourself in a certain position, yours is to come out with a solution. If you can't, just take a step back and let the next person take over. That's how it's supposed to work. You don't take positions to complain. You take position to fix, to get the job done. And at any point in time, if you feel that you need help, call for help. Just call for help. But it's quite, a challenge, Sena. It's quite a challenge. The professional forum members, sometimes, you want to talk to them and they're like, oh, no, I don't intend, even when the NDC comes to power, no, I'm okay here. We will support with our ideas, whatever strings that we can pull to bring in the resources we will, but they wouldn't want to come, to Ghana. But for sometimes, people think that, people are not comfortable where they are, and they just want to use another means to come and take some food on their table, but that's not the case. That's not the case at all. But we have a lot of human resource that can turn our fortunes around. If we decide not to be selfish, we can move this country to a higher height in no time.
That can be done.
Yes, it's possible. If Ghanaians in the diaspora can go out there, compete and beat and lead, what else can't they do in their own country? What else? It's just that people might not have enough room to tolerate certain things.
Okay.
That here it's more like business as usual. Mm-hmm. Look at Greater Accra. Greater Accra is supposed to be a world-class, city. Have you ever sat down to analyze the property rates that people take in Greater Accra here, and what the funds are used for, and how we can expand, Greater Accra to, rake in more revenue to support the other regions? Every region in Ghana has its own potential. Mm. The thing is our ability to, harness these potentials and distribute them fairly. There are water bodies everywhere. The sea is there, the rivers are there, the gold is there, everything is there. How do we marry all these things to the advantage of the Ghanaian? These are the things that we need to begin to look out for. And sometimes too, we need to look at the kind of appointees that we do. For me, I believe that our best appointees should be the MMDCs.
Okay.
Yes, they should be our best appointees.
So attention should be on them more.
Yes.
A lot more focus on them.
More focus on them. If you want to be an MCE in, let's say, Ghana East, what's your vision for Ghana East? What is your vision for Ghana East? Have you toured the entire assembly? What have you seen in the next 4 or 5 years? How do you intend to change things around? Have you looked at our medical institutions? Have you looked at our roads? Have you looked at our employment system, our energy system, our drainage system? What's your vision in the next 4 or 5 years? What's your plan? Let's discuss this. If you show how, what your intentions are, and also your ability to raise resources to be able to get these things done. Okay. That should be a prerequisite, a pre-requirement for one, even to become an MC or DC. We shouldn't just say thank you to people, by giving. That's the reason why the central government is always stressed out, because those at the bottom, they are more always depending
on the central government.
Yes, on the central government. They cannot do things on their own.
Everybody, it all comes back to the central government.
Yes, but they take taxes from everybody down there. Property rates, the market areas, every corner, streets, everything, they take money from these people. Why are you not using these funds to expand these? The business communities that you have in your district, Why can't you bring them together? Discuss with them what your plans are. See how they can come in and support, and what incentives you can also provide for them as an assembly. Why can't we have that partnership going on, that everything would have to be central government?
Having said that, then I guess you would, because if the appointment is the problem, because in this case, it just, he helped us. He was very instrumental in us winning the election. He's been helping the party. Let's put him there. And I'm guessing that in order to avoid that, you also support that move that says, let's elect our MMDCs. Why not?
I am all for it. To be honest, I'm all for it. It's a step in the right direction. Let them go through the eye of the needle like anybody else. Show what you're capable of. And it shouldn't be a matter of, let's say, 4 years. Okay, even after a year, if they can call you back, the people can go through, a petition, let's say a certain percentage, can call you back.
And so take you out of the position.
Yes, and then you would have to come and answer the reasons why the petition has been put, in. And if you're unable to address them, you go. The next person, come in. That's how you get people, to get things done. Don't let him feel comfortable. If you're not comfortable, you shouldn't let him feel comfortable either. That's the whole thing. That's why they say if they will not let us dream, we will not let him sleep. It's it goes hand in hand. So our MMDCs should be people who have that foresight, who understand what development is all about, that can turn the fortunes of a district around and the people. Okay? And fine, there's nothing wrong having a V8, V12, whatever that you ride in as a member of parliament, as an MC, as a minister. But if you put on all these suits and drive all these cars, and then you turn around and you look at the lifestyle of your people, the filth that they're engulfed in, so on and so forth, you're a failure. The benchmark shouldn't be the car you're driving in or the outfit that you have on, but the people that you're serving, their welfare, their lifestyle should be the benchmark. That will determine how powerful you are. So if they say you have a very big man, that big man should be as a result of someone who has empowered his community. Okay, has added value to the life of the people. Decent school system, security, housing, and all the facilities that people need for them to be able to maximize their potential. Then we can say thank you. But you don't put on V8 and drive in a single lane and stay in traffic for an hour. That's not progress. That's not progress.
Okay.
So your big man, it's questionable. Do 3 lanes and let's say thank you. And let's know that, yes, he's a very big man, he's a very powerful man. But don't sit on radio and say, do you know who I am? I can call nationals. We don't care. Get the job done. And the people will respect you for who you are.
You brought back an issue that we discussed, I think, a few weeks ago. At that time, you were angry with, not so happy, let me use that word, with the members of parliament from the NDC side, especially on the appointments committee. The quality of ministers that were put out, some of them you feel shouldn't have had opportunity to come back again, and that they shouldn't be in the position they are in the first place. You just spoke about the finance minister as was one of those you raised issues with.
Yes.
And perhaps listen to some of the ministers and the things that are happening. Do you feel like your concerns are being justified as you move along?
Of course, Sena, the output that we see today, it's as a result of the empowerment that we gave them yesterday. We empowered them. We said, yes, you deserve to be there. Right, therefore, whatever we see is as a result of what we put in. But I think that we've made progress. I mean, as a team, as a party, analysis have been done. Probably next time we'll do way better. We can't cry over spilt milk, but it shouldn't have happened in the first place. Judging from how far we've come, and the quality of people that we have, we could have done better. But we've made progress. So I would say that next time we ensure that some of these things do not happen. This had nothing to do that you would say was in the interest of the state. No, it was not. Because if it was, they wouldn't have passed. They wouldn't. They don't deserve to be there. They don't. At all. And technically, even if you want to be political about it, Well, I wouldn't want to say everything here, but it still just didn't click.
But beyond perhaps the issues with their what they call it, vetting and everything, that the persons themselves, as nominated by President Akufo-Addo, the persons that the team is put together, what do you make of it?
They are fine on paper.
Fine on paper?
Yeah, they are fine on paper. Theoretically, yes, they would have good resumes and everything, but their output, the practical aspect, which is the benchmark, which is needed, you would want to find out what they've done, and then say, oh, okay, you deserve to be here, or you don't deserve to be here. Which ministry that you'd want to take that you would say it's your best, performing ministry. The finance ministry, of course, it's a failure, complete failure, massive failure. We shouldn't even start with the finance minister. If you want to talk of health, complete failure. Our health system is nothing to write home about. We don't have beds. We don't, you have to sit on a plastic chair to receive basic treatment. The doctors, doing an exceptional job, but the system itself is not supporting the doctors to give their best, lands and natural resources. Galamsey, our water body is gone. I was reading the news today where they say that somewhere in the western region, a win where women are giving birth with kids losing their private parts, some with no eyes and nose, as a result of the bad water, that they've been drinking. In today's world, Sena, who? Why? Isn't this pathetic? Isn't this, heartbreaking that we sit back, we feel that we've done something that we need to be patted in the back, but this is our output. So if minister by minister, these are the things that we use to judge you, because these are the purpose of which you are being paid, to fix problems. Look at the Kankona Road. How many people have been, I listened to some news on another platform, and over 1,000 people have died, as a result of road accidents. From
accidents this year, at this point in time.
Yes.
We are only in the 5th month.
Yes. Why should it be so? You can't blame the drivers, because the system is loose. That's why they're taking advantage of it. But we have an institution that are being paid, people are being paid to ensure that there's this discipline on the road. But they are not doing it. They are not. So you ask yourself, who is in charge once again? And why are things happening the way they are? Why are things happening the way they are? So that's the problem that we face as a country.
Interesting. Well, like I indicated, if you just join us, I'm having a conversation with Arnold Appiah. It's on everything, because it's the first time I'm having him in the studio. There's so much to talk about, because we had several conversations, and somehow, just when you're coming in this morning, I was hearing about the Electoral Commission virtually praising themselves that they did a fantastic job in the last elections. In fact, they even spoke about the Santo Kofi Akpafululu Bilikpe issue, the guys who didn't vote, among several others. I am wondering how you feel like when you listen to the chairpersons of the Electoral Commission talk at this time, and talking about having performed well in the last election.
Well, Sena, if you've done a yeoman's job, it's not for you to praise yourself. The people themselves will thank you for a great job. But where you start praising yourself, that means you are forcing to be acknowledged, forcing to be recognized.
Okay.
So that itself speaks volume of your output. Our electoral system, we've made progress, tremendous progress, all the way from 1992 till, she took over.
Okay.
But you want to ask yourself that since she took over, what has been the output? She came, wanted to change things. Well, if you want to change things, you have to change it for the better. It should not be, we don't need to, go backwards. She argued the need for a new voters register, purchase of new equipment to add value to what we have. The argument did not match what she was, clamoring for. So it clearly showed what it was all about, So if you need a voters register, but you can't tell what is wrong with the current register, then the point is, why do you need a voters register? If you need equipment And your point is because the equipment were purchased years ago, and so it has to be changed. That's not the reason why equipment, you can buy equipment and it will be there for 20 years. It's all about maintenance, and then judging from what transpired during the election and how terrible that it was from Ayawaso all the way, to the general election and what we experienced, clearly. It's just that Ghanaians, we are tolerant to a very high degree.
Tolerance?
Yes, to a very high degree. But
to a very high degree?
Yeah, to the highest degree. Because what transpired in the 2020 election, other countries wouldn't have survived it.
It wouldn't survive in America?
No, it wouldn't. No way. No way. No way. This wouldn't survive anywhere. This wouldn't survive anywhere. It's just that we are a different type of people. Then the family, it's something that still exists in us, and it has its own pros and cons. So people can get away with a lot of things, but I pray that we don't face the same situation in 2024, because a lot of lessons have been learned, and I think that people will be ready for what transpired in 2020. People will be very, very ready for what happened in 2020.
When you say people,
I mean the Ghanaian people will be ready.
Okay,
because now people are pissed off. People are pissed off. Okay, that's why you have to fix the country and all these movements. And the last they would want to see or they want to hear is what transpired in 2020 happened in a repetition of 2024. They don't want to hear it. They just don't want to hear it. So it's something that we would have to, be ready to ensure that accountability comes to the picture as soon as possible, so that we can all be on the same page. There has to be transparency, the entire process. That's what we need, and it's healthy for our democracy as well.
There's always, whenever we talk about the last elections, everybody then goes, the last elections, how do you feel about your party's work?
Well, Sena, I would say that we did a lot of work. And we have to thank the good people of Ghana. They gave us the numbers. Ghanaians played their part.
Okay.
Yes, that I would say that Ghanaians gave us the numbers.
Okay.
And collectively, I would say that we did what we can, but there's always room for improvement.
Okay.
There's always room for improvement. And our strength in Parliament speaks for itself. Let's face it, Sena, the NDC, I always say, is the most powerful political party in Ghana.
Most powerful political party in Ghana?
Most powerful political party in Ghana.
The National Democratic Congress?
Yes, and I mean, history speaks for itself.
Okay.
So now let's do some analysis here. And here you would want to even take it all the way back from Pndc era.
Okay.
The Pndc era was how many years? It was 11 years.
Okay.
I think 81 all the way to 1990, leading to 1992. During that period, we had a section of Ghanaians bastardizing the Pndc era, that it's a military rule, everything evil, everything demonic, that terrible. So they made Ghanaians believe that PNDC 11 years was worse, that we shouldn't survive at any point. Okay, the leader was, vilified, crucified. They even say that he was not even a Ghanaian. And to add insults to injury, when the time came, when the advocacy came, referendum came, the need for us to move to democratic era came 1992. And this same old military team that people made us believe, or made the world believe, that they were the worst, they were destroying the country and not giving freedom to people, decided to present the leader as their democratically nominated person to lead that party. We took that to 1992. We should have lost the election in 1992, judging from what they made the world believe that the PNDC was made of. apparently Ghanaians had a different view. So they gave 4 years to the NDC. Ghanaians knew that this is the PNDC transitioning to
the
NDC.
political party,
Yes, NDC. But for some reasons, the good people of Ghana decided to trust these people and ignored the noise. So they gave 4 years mandate. We took that to 1996. Nothing significantly changed in terms of the team and its leader.
Okay.
So we took that to 1996. The good people of Ghana said, you know what, we still love you. We don't care what these people are saying.
Mm-hmm.
You are the people that we need. So they still voted for the NDC in 1996.
Okay.
11 years was not enough. 4 years was not enough. Extra 4 years. The people still said, we love you. We need you people to make progress, to take the country where it's supposed to be. Forget about what these people are saying. The insults, don't pay attention to it. We are the majority. We are the people. And we say we love you. 2000, the year 2000 came. That was 19 years. Right? Even with that, you had a strong section of the people saying that we still love you. It went to a second round, and Ghanaians said, you know what, take a break. 19 years, take a break. And let's see what these people will do. A new administration comes in. After 4 years, 2004 election, Ghanaians almost took them out. That should send a clear signal that the party called the NDC, it's the party of the nation. It's the party that the people know. It's the party that the people love. Why is it that someone will have 11-4-4 and you only come in 4 years and they want to substitute you? It means that you are not loved. You are not the person that we truly identify with. That's what it signifies. 2008, they kicked them out. After 8 years, 2 terms. Forget the fact that we had 11 Pndc era and 4 years and 4 years. Just 8 years, they took them out. They brought us back to come and continue. They gave us 8 years in a row. And the result was, massive for the whole world to know. So that should tell you the strength of the NDC at the grassroots level, that the people, it's the people's party. Okay? Now, we wanted to prove a point that, yes, we are who we say we are. We will take you down in just 4 years. We wanted to prove that we can do that. That 8-year rule, it is for the NDC. We go 8 years. Ideally, NPP is not supposed to go 8 years. Ideally, they're not supposed to go 8 years because they don't have that strength to go. It's a matter of the NDC realizing its strength and marshalling its forces and proving a point every election. So we went into 2020 election against all odds. You know what happened with all the, from Ayawaso by-election, all the intimidation, all the, everything that they did. Point is, look at Parliament. Look at the strength of the NDC in Parliament. Who runs Parliament now? It's like power sharing right now. If the NDC decide to take a certain stance right now, this government will fall. If the NDC decides to be political, 100% political in Parliament, this government will fall. This government won't survive. That's the reality. So that should tell you the strength of the NDC. So yes, we felt disappointed that we couldn't take them down in 4 years. And, we've licked our wounds to a very high standard, a very high level. But 2024, we'll see who runs it.
2024?
Yes, 2024, we'll see who runs it. The system will change in 2024. Sena.
The system will change?
Oh, yes, the system will
What
change.
makes you so confident?
I'm
because
confident.
when it came to the crunch in this election, you couldn't. They used state power in a manner which you couldn't stand.
Well, you see, Sena, it's not a matter that we chose to do what was right.
You made a choice to do
Yes,
what was right.
Yes, we chose to do what was right. Because at that particular moment, everyone has something to say. Everyone has something to do. Do you get what I'm trying to say? We got all the calls, of course. We got all the calls. But none of us or those that are willing to, take you to the next level. Nobody was willing to do that. Nobody was willing to do that. So it's part of who we are as a political party. We are peace-loving people. Yes, we are a peace-loving people. And I think that they took our leniency to be our weakness, because we gave them a pass with Ayawaso. We gave them a pass with the referendum, in the Volta region. So they felt empowered, and an ultimate prize was paid. But Sena, it's better for us to be able to sit here and have a conversation than not to see each other again as a result of somebody's foolishness. But the point is, we will use the key of peace carefully in 2024. We will use it carefully in 2024.
Use the key of peace carefully.
Yes, we will use it carefully.
What does that statement mean?
What it basically means is that we will ensure that the essence of peace is played in 2024. That we will not give room for those who feel that they can disturb the peace to have their way. So we will use that key and determine what we need to open and what we need to close. Because we believe that we are the majority. The people of Ghana love the NDC. They love the NDC. The NPP, look, it's the NPP that always comes to power and makes it an agenda to destroy the NDC. But they've never been successful. Should the NDC decide to use the same energy and turn the guns on the NPP when they come to office, NPP will not survive. They will not. They will not survive. That will be the end of it. That will be the end of it. And the NDC, we are progressive, we are from different backgrounds, and for us it doesn't matter which tribe, gender, religion, as long as you are fit for the job, we'll push you. And that's who we are. Look at the NPP. They call themselves that it's a tradition. Dankwa Buzia tradition.
Nombo.
Please pause the Nombo for now. Dankwa Buzia tradition. That's where they stem their strength from.
Dankwa Buzia.
Dankwa Buzia tradition. I don't know what that tradition is made of. I don't know what that tradition is made of. The Nombo came in somewhere in 2004. I think 2005, after the election, and the North did not pull the way they thought they could, and they felt that, well, we are being exposed for who we are, as a tribal party, so let's attach this Nombo to our name so that we can be seen to be all inclusive. But reality is the NPP an all-inclusive party?
It's a party that looks more likely to be led by the vice president.
Who?
Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia.
Lead where? Who? Which political party?
The New Patriotic Party. If you listen to people like Gabi Otridaku, among others, they seem to hold the opinion that they should lead.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. You need to know the people you're dealing with. They don't like you, they don't like you. Nothing. If they don't like you, they don't like you. They know how to use you, but they will not give it to you. Truly and sincerely, if they intend to hand it to Bawumia, this government will not be performing that poorly. What legacy do you think they are handing over to Bawumia? What legacy do you think they are handing over to Bawumia? This cross that they want Bawumia to carry? As to whether he will even get the nod, that's another matter. That's another matter. To get that nod to become a candidate, it will take Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ
It will
himself.
take Jesus Christ himself.
Very interesting. Well, I'm guessing you're staying long enough for us to have another conversation before you leave.
Yes, I'm around. I'll be around for a second.
For a second?
Yes, I'll be around for a second. I'll be around for a second.
So perhaps we can have a much more detailed conversation about the electoral structures, among others, and the politics of Ghana.
Yes.
Anyway, we should find some time and talk again.
Yes, I'll be glad for us to discuss more our electoral system. Yes, we need to discuss that thoroughly.
Yeah. Arnold Appiah is president of NDC Pro from North America. If you have anything to say.
Well, I would want to take this opportunity to greet, the members of the NDC Professionals Forum and the entire NDC family, and also Ghanaians in general. Special to Richard Alija, the almighty Richard, Ambassador Yali himself, and I wish everyone, all the best. There's always hope. There's always hope. We should encourage each other and see what the future holds. But 2024, definitely, we will come back and invest heavily in the country as President Mahama intended, doing $10 billion worth of investment. We can't go wrong.
Yes, I said last one, but anyway, there's the NDC Pro Forum, growing strength.
Yes,
from strength to strength. Are you getting the attention you when you started the NDC Pro Forum in North America? I guess you started small. It's come very far, I'm guessing.
Yes, it has come very far. It has gone through its own challenges. That is people understanding the role, the functions of the NDC Professional Forum. Basically what it is that yes, we are NDC members. But
so you must be an NDC member first.
Yes, you must be a member of the NDC and in good standing.
Okay.
And in good standing, you should be someone who has no problem with the NDC family.
Okay.
Okay, you pay your dues and everything. You are respected at your branch, and then we can move to the next phase where it says that okay, beyond being an NDC member, what other potential, what value do you think you can add to enhance the fortunes of the NDC? What professional skill do you have? Because today's politics is not like yesterday, where we talk more of policies, more of programs, more of action. So, what do you think you can bring to the table?
Okay.
And that's where we draw that energy.
So you must be a professional. You must bring a set of skills.
Yes, you need to be a value addition.
Okay.
Yes, you just need to be a value addition. You can't be a member of the Pro Forum and just be there.
Okay.
Yes, and here it's a matter of, going the extra mile in making sure that you add value to the NDC. But first of all, you must respect the structures of the NDC.
Okay.
You cannot undermine the structures of because that's where we're all from. That's where we draw our strength from. Without the NDC, there will be no professionals forum.
Okay.
So for us, we are always a baby to the NDC, and we abide by the rules of our political party, even though we have our own charter. But the NDC is always supreme. Yes.
And you're going from strength to strength.
Yes, we are going from strength to strength. We have more members who have joined and others wanting to join, and it's very encouraging, for us to show what we are capable of, because now it's much easier for the NDC to look for certain skills just to get certain job done than in the past. You have to do more work to get people. Now you can just dump your hand in there and pull some brains and then put them to work that easily. It's like a tank of brains that
available.
Available to serve at any time. The beck and call of the party.